Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. Cory here. And we are still on the 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. Today is day 15. And the question is, do you have a deck that is for personal use only? If so, why or why not? And the answer to that question, the quick answer, is yes, I do. Now, I did answer this question last year, but again, I only participated on Instagram, so excuse me here. So I do want to talk to you guys about this deck in particular, and it's about time that she gets retired. So the dog got to this one as well. I just didn't show it in the worst Tarot Moments video a couple days ago, but this deck is primarily for personal use, and one of the reasons for that is because there is a blank card in the deck that you can draw in, and I've done that. So this is the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud. Okay, here is the backing, which is great if you happen to read reversals. And let me flip through here and pull out that particular card. So there is a blank card in this deck that you would use to draw in your own personal fairy guide. And I have done so. And it's not that I'm embarrassed about my drawing. The reason that I don't want to show it is because for anyone that has worked with the Fae, they're very particular with who they show themselves to. And their energy, for me, is a very personal energy. Not really sure how else to describe it. I've been working with the Fae for many, many years. In fact, they were the first astral, not of this plane, guides that I connected with, even before working with my own spirit guides, even really before connecting to deity, I connected with the Fae. And they helped me through some of the darkest points in my life. And so working with them and spending time with them is very important to me. It's a very big part of my practice. My astral temple that I work in is on the edge of the fairy realm. And that was done for obvious purposes, being able to, connect right there. And so my primary fairy guide is someone that we're not going to talk about on my channel. Sorry, guys. But that just makes this deck that much more personal for me. Brian's artwork also has a very personal connection for me and my relationship with my mother, who passed away in 2011. And so there's a lot about this deck that is incredibly personal. And it's a gorgeous deck, but just not one that I ever use for clients or will ever use for clients. At a later point in time, maybe I'll purchase another deck and pull out the fairy guide card and just use that with folks, or keep that in there and just write in your fairy guide. And when I do client readings for folks, I'll tell them to, if that card shows up, okay, it's your guide that's coming through and wanting to connect with you. But that is an aspect of my practice that I want to keep private. I don't know. It's just, I feel like that's just something between me and the Fae. And if that ever changes, I will let you guys know. But even though I've worked with them the longest, they're not even entities that I've ever done a workshop on, a class on. I don't even bring their energy into any of my client sessions or the programs that I work with for other folks. Yeah, there's plenty of books that I can recommend for you guys if you're interested in working with these wonderful magical beings and wanting to connect with them. But if you're wanting an instructor on working with the Fae, that's not me. And I can probably find somebody to recommend for you, but that won't be me. So that is the first deck. The next deck is just because I struggle with this deck. And that is the Wild Unknown. This deck blew up Instagram a couple years ago, and everybody was talking about this deck. It is so amazing. It is wonderful. And the artwork really is amazing, you guys. This is a gorgeous deck. And in fact, it was one of the first indie decks that I purchased. However, I don't know. For some folks, looking at the imagery, messages just flow. That doesn't work with me. I look at it and I'm staring at the card, and even though I know what the Two of Wands means, for a split second I'm like, how am I looking at? And that's just how this deck comes across for me. The messages get muddled. They're not clear. So this one right now is for personal use, just because I don't want to be that jackass reader that's sitting there and doing a reading for somebody, staring at a card for 10 minutes going, why don't you Google this? Like, that's messed up, okay? So it's just, it's gorgeous. I adore the images. Like, I would love to hang a lot of these as paintings on my wall, but for whatever reason, as a tarot deck, I struggle with this one. And it's just, you know, not every tarot deck is going to be for every tarot reader, and that is okay. I know if I were to ever create a tarot deck in the future, it's not going to resonate with everybody. It's just not. And that's cool. Like this is freaking gorgeous world card. And I would still probably look at this for a hot minute and go, I don't know what this is telling me. So this is definitely one that I do need to work with more on a personal level. It is just a me use only, but that doesn't mean that it will always stay that way. It just means that for right now, I gotta figure this one out. And until I do that, it's just gonna be a me deck. Now, this last one here that I want to show you is just because I have 2 copies. And that is the Star Child Tarot. Okay, so I bought this one. This is the 2nd edition, the Akashic edition. And I bought this lovely girl, and I adore the color, the way that the images were put together, but she's huge. Like, oh my word. So this is the bordered edition, and this is like 400 GSM cardstock. This is super thick, gorgeous, luscious cardstock, but it is a bear for me to shuffle. The cards stick for me, and that just kind of sucks to, you know, kind of clumsily sort through and try and shuffle through this for a client reading. So this one will probably be a just for me to look at, or for, you know, nice picture shots. And then this other one is the borderless tarot size edition of the Akashic version. This was like version 3. Okay, third edition right here. Borderless, smaller, easier for me to incorporate into layouts, to mix with other decks. And so this one, public edition. The other one, just kind of be private edition. Shuffle into the back. So while I read with both decks, the other one is just going to kind of be, just going to kind of sit on my shelf, my own readings. If I ever break it out, it could just end up being a collector's item, honestly. And that could potentially, could potentially be sitting on there for quite a while before I break it out. I may even use this for personal readings as well. I did, even for my year ahead spread, I pulled this one out instead of the big guns. But I was using 3 different decks in that. It was really hard to condense everything into one video for my own private use and photo. So we'll see. But I definitely don't want to get rid of it because I do really love it. It's gorgeous. I like the way the borders look around it. I think there are pluses to both versions of the deck. It's just this one's a little bit easier to pull out when I need to do a reading for someone else. So that was it, loves. Are there any decks that you use just for you? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. I will see you in the next video for tomorrow. But until then, blessed be.